Apple headset, Apple VR, or Reality Pro, whatever the name is of this device coming from Apple. Ever since we got news, or ever since we got leaks of this headset coming out, it's been mired in a lot of excitement as well as a lot of turmoil. Talking about the $3,000 price tag, which is extravagant to begin with, an external battery pack that you may have to lug around with you on this VR mixed reality headset, and not to mention the executives kind of seem to be disconnected from this whole project. There's just been so much that this Apple headset has been mired in since its announcement, and this article right here really sums it up for me. In particular, there is one paragraph in here that just ties a nice little bow on there, so I'm going to get into that. And also, I thought that they would probably not launch this at Worldwide Developer Conference, but I have an article that pretty much confirms that this is definitely launching at Worldwide Developer Conference. I'm going to get into all of that for you in this video. But before I do that, if you are new to this video, please do me a huge favor. Consider hitting that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and hit that like button as well if you are enjoying this video. Now, let's jump into this. Apple's headset team reveals the project's misguided priorities. This is their article out of Macworld.com. As one of the riskiest and most delay-prone projects in Apple history approaches its culmination in a glitzy launch event, leaker Mark Gurman has named the 13 employees who have been the most instrumental in midwifing the troubled mixed reality headset. It says something for the long-waitedness of the project that one of the 13 no longer works for Apple, talking about Jony Ive, while a second is expected to retire shortly after its release. But all have reportedly left their mark on the device cautiously expected to be named Reality Pro. In the latest edition of his regular Power On newsletter, Gurman claims that thousands of staff members are currently working on the headset, including executive marketers, and mentioned last, in what feels like an ominous reflection of the priorities, engineers. But the following lucky 13 have been especially critical to the 7-year-plus effort. Right here is just a list of the 13 people. I'm really not going to go over all of them. Just going to maybe highlight a couple people. Obviously, Jony Ive. He's the one that just recently retired from Apple. Actually, it says right here, cut ties with Apple last summer. The senior vice president, Greg Jaworskiak. Phil Schiller, Apple fellow. They have an ex-NASA dude, Jeff Norris. Shannon Gans in charge of the content for the headset. And Jeff Stahl in charge of the operating system, XROS. All of this is fascinating. All of this, while fascinating from a corporate operations point of view and impressive as a demonstration of the leaker's knowledge of Apple's inner workings, might strike readers as being a little inside baseball. Who cares which executives made the decision, provided the decision was a good one? Who cares about the personnel behind the product as long as we're blown away by it? Yeah, I agree. I don't really care about the top names that are involved in this project, but anytime you launch a project, you really always, talk about the big wigs, the producers, the executives, the CEOs, COOs of the companies. You never really trot out the peons, the engineers, the programmers that actually work on that. That's rarely seen, so that doesn't really bother me. But again, coming up here soon, the second to last paragraph really, ties it home for me. Of course, you don't need to know the name of Apple's key executive to enjoy the company's product, but if the headset disappoints, then there's a moderate risk that it will, then the structure of the team is likely to be a key factor in explaining why that happened. Yes, that is a key point. Tim Cook's, this is the article right here, the paragraph. Tim Cook's Apple and Steve Jobs' Apple share many elements, but they do differ quite profoundly in where they locate power. Under Jobs, Jony Ive's design shop ruled the roost, while his team encouraged to largely ignore questions of cost and practicality and simply focus on creating greatest products they could. Under Cook, a logistics man through and through, operations hold the greatest power, and the design team has become fragmented or somewhat sidelined and overruled on this project. So there you have it, two distinct managerial styles. Under Steve Jobs, he let the designers, he let the creativity flow, ignoring, like you said, cost or whatever. Just get it done. I don't care about how long it takes. Bring me something great. Just imagine if Steve Jobs would have stopped them on the iPod, or they would have stopped them on the iPhone or the iPad. You know, some of the things, if he would have stopped that, we wouldn't have probably had the smartphone revolution that we had now, or the iPad or the tablet revolution. Just imagine if that was under Tim Cook's, the way his philosophy is, where he's more of a numbers man, logistics. He want to keep it tightly controlled. Steve Jobs understood you had to let the creators flow, let them do their thing, let them turn that wheel, as long as you make me something great. And they did. They came out with the iPhone, which we all know is revolutionary. The fact that the designers aren't mentioned in Gurman's summary of the thousands of employees working on the headset, and that the list of 13 key players is dominated by managers, marketers, and specialists in hardware or software engineering. Yeah, again, I don't really care about that. That doesn't really matter to me. But it just, this paragraph here just sums up what's really going on. How, you know, you have a different managerial style. So leading up to this, I know we heard all the rumors that this headset was coming. I thought after seeing all these articles about how bad it is, what the turmoil was, the development life cycle, that they may put a hold on it or may not launch or may delay it. But this article coming out here, VR experts invited to a worldwide developer conference ahead of Apple's rumor unveiling of its headset. This pretty much just sticks a bow in it. This thing is coming at Worldwide Developer Conference, which is coming next week or in a couple of weeks. So you would not invite key VR people to this event if you're not going to launch the headset. So it is definitely coming. So again, we will see what it looks like when they unveil it. I really don't know what to expect from this. I mean, again, I talked about the $3,000 price tag. That is just ridiculous. I don't know who this is marketed for. At that price point, you would think that this would be something geared more towards the corporate world or, you know, the enterprise, but I haven't heard of that for the most part as to how they're developing this headset. And for $3,000, the average person is not going to buy this. Even an Apple head, they're not going to go out and pay $3,000 for virtual reality or AR. That's really very niche at this point, and it has not caught legs yet. It's still, the VR is just not caught on, and even the PlayStation VR 2, which Sony just announced, they sold 600,000, which is better than their first one. That's a good number for them, but still far away from being a mainstream product yet. And even the most successful ones, the Meta Quest, you know, they're still not, you don't know many people that actually own them because they don't have the right applications or the killer applications that make you want to go out and get it. So maybe if Apple software has something up their sleeve that makes this a killer application, makes this a device that you have to have, I doubt that seriously, but we shall see. I mean, I don't know. We'll see in a couple of weeks at Worldwide Developer Conference. I think this will be a very anticipated device because this is a new device from Apple. This is out of their DNA. This is something that is out of their ballpark. So I'm excited to see what will they be showing at Worldwide Developer Conference. So stay tuned here. And that is everything I wanted to cover for you in this video. Again, thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you've enjoyed this video, please do me a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, drop a like down there as well. Let me know down in the comments what you think about Apple's headset, Apple's VR headset, the Reality Pro, whatever it's called. Let me know what you think about it. And if you want to stay up to date with the latest tech news, head over to sounds30.com where I curate tech news covering Apple, Samsung, Android, Google, computing, and even more general tech news. So stay up to date, head over to sounds30.com. And until next video, guys, stay nerdy.